Hello and welcome to this introduction to Overdrive session. The event today will focus on the use of Overdrive as an event site, enabling you to share information regarding your events with both internal and external attendees and other contacts. Overdrive event sites are suitable for both physical and online events, which is very relevant given the current situation we find ourselves in. So we'll cover some of those topics as we progress. My name is Sean Power, and I also have my colleague Ian Weatherhog with me. Say hello, Ian, and tell us about the weather wherever you are.
Good afternoon, Sean. Yes, it's sunny with a little bit of cloud, but very nice day.
Excellent, good. Ian is the Chief Technical Officer for Overdrive, and he'll be helping with any questions raised during the session. The event will last around 30 minutes, and we'll also make a recording available afterwards, so you can review the information or share with your colleagues after the event. As I mentioned, if you do have any questions during the event, then please use the chat box in the right-hand side of the screen, and we will answer any questions raised at the end of the session. We will reply directly after the session for those we don't get to answer during the event, but hopefully we'll be able to answer them all. So feel free to ask any questions as they occur to you as we progress. So a quick overview of Overdrive. Overdrive is designed for organizations using G Suite. And this is because it is deeply integrated with G Suite, and it lets you create a website or a portal automatically from content held in Drive and elsewhere across G Suite and beyond. With Overdrive, you can create great looking web pages and portals without the need for specialist skills. You simply decide what content you wish to share, choose from a wide range of page types to suit your content and audience, and then add in your users. And you'll see how this works in the demonstrations as we go through the event today. Your users will have easy online access to the resources and information that they need. And also, any site created by Overdrive is automatically mobile friendly, so your users can access the site on any device that they choose. A key strength of Overdrive is the range of potential uses available, such as intranets, extranets, education portals, event sites, etc. And as you'll see in the demonstration, a site can be created very quickly, which allows you to share information with people inside or outside the organization. Overdrive is hosted on Google Cloud Platform, and Google uses GCP to host its own well-known services, including Gmail, Drive, YouTube, Search, etc. And GCP provides global scalability and world-class security for Overdrive, and then allows our team to concentrate on adding new and exciting features to the product. We have Overdrive customers worldwide, and here is a selection from different industries and different locations, and also different uses of Overdrive, as you can see. And with some customers, such as Tarmac and Western Homes, we have created customized Overdrive solutions to meet their specific needs. Overdrive sites can be made public on request, and a good example of this is UNESCO Sardona, which uses Overdrive to share large quantities of scientific research information. So hopefully that's given you some background information on Overdrive. We now have two demonstrations for you to bring everything to life. The first is a recorded video of the site creation process, which Ian has kindly prepared for us. And then I'll show you a few features of Overdrive on an event demonstration site. So first, the video.
With Overdrive, you can set up a great looking site in minutes using content from Google Drive. Today I'm going to create an event site for my company's annual conference. We're an office furniture company, and every year we get together for talks, networking and some socializing. The site will help with the whole life cycle of the event: planning, registration, collateral, feedback and more. Overdrive sites are built from Google Drive folders, and all of the forms and files my event needs are in this folder. The agenda is a Google Doc, the registration is a Google form, and its responses are stored automatically in this spreadsheet. The Resources folder has subfolders for all the delegates' materials to go with the sessions. I was going to store the photos in Drive too, but instead I'm going to use this shared album in Google Photos and incorporate it into my site. The News folder contains news articles in the form of Google Docs that should help to keep the delegates engaged before, during and after the event. Once I've connected Overdrive to Drive, I can use this menu to both create new sites and jump across to existing sites. My site design is looking a bit basic, so I'm going to find my company logo, and use Template Designer to pick a template that suits my corporate colors. These advanced settings give me lots of control over the design and layout if I want to go further, so I'm going to use them to turn off the side menu. As you can see, my site has been automatically created using the content in Google Drive. Notice how all of the folders from Drive are now pages in the menus, and they'll stay in sync if I make changes in here or in Drive. And the contents of the folders have been brought across too. Overdrive folders can be presented in a range of views. These slide decks will work well when displayed with large icons. Now the conference delegates have friendly, easy access to conference files without having to use Drive. Users with edit permissions are able to create and upload new files. And edit existing ones. Now back to the home page. The Assets folder is where I'm going to keep logos and other files needed for the site, and I don't need it to appear in the menus, so I'll switch it off like this. The agenda doc is very important to my delegates and speakers, so I'm going to make it appear in the menus. Same for the registration form and the attendee spreadsheet. So here's the registration form that delegates will need to complete before the event. Responses from the form are automatically stored in this spreadsheet, which is too busy and not very elegant. So I'm going to use Page Builder over here to turn off some of the columns. And make the list sortable, filterable, and exportable. So now the attendee list is easy for delegates to access from this menu item here, but organizers can still get to all the data they need with a few clicks. The news folder has an important role on my event site, so I'm going to make it look a bit better. Again, I'm going to use Page Builder, and I'm going to choose Blog View. Each article now shows with a thumbnail image extracted from the doc and the first few sentences of text. When I click to view an article, there's a comments tile below each one to encourage feedback. I was going to store all the photos in Drive, but as I said, instead I'm going to use a shared album in Google Photos. And choose medium icons. So I have a great looking photo album. When I click a photo, it zooms in. I can step through. I can switch into slideshow mode. And there we have it, a great looking event site in a few minutes that will make a great platform for our annual conference.
Great, thanks for doing that, Ian. Hopefully that has given you an idea as to how we can create sites very quickly, and also some of the features you can add into your site. Don't forget to ask any questions that you have in the chat box, and we'll answer them at the end of the session. So what I'm going to do now is show you what a finished event site could look like, and some of the features particularly relevant for that type of site. Event sites are often shared with users from outside your organization for events which have external attendees or speakers. And we want to make it as easy as possible for your users to access the site. So we provide a number of options for them to authenticate themselves and gain access. This is a demonstration site, and we'll share the link with you after this site. And this is a sign-in page. You can see the options we have selected to allow users to sign into the site. In addition to the default Google login, we have Facebook, Microsoft, and even simple email and password. And you can also see on this page that it's been customized to display messages appropriate for your visitors. Once I sign into the site, I can make the sign-in process even easier, as it is possible to allow all users from particular organizations to access the site that you choose. So I'm signed in, and I access the administration function of site settings, and I choose the option of security. And you see here, this is where I can add in a list of domains, and anybody on those domains can access the site that you choose. As I mentioned, we'll send you a link to this demonstration site after today's session so you can visit for yourself. And it is created to show what an event site could look like. And in this case, it's for this fictitious furniture manufacturer called Sanford. So for this part of the event, I'll show you a handful of the many features available, which are useful when using Overdrive as an event site, just to build on the previous demonstration. This is the home page, and it's similar to the site and the page which Ian showed you before. And it highlights some of the features which might be appropriate for your home page, in addition to those showed earlier. One of the great features of Overdrive is its ability to display content in different ways. And the agenda page here shows an embedded Google Doc. So here we take the contents from a doc and embed them directly onto the page. And we can also provide the ability for your users and access to the site to edit the document on the page without ever leaving Overdrive, giving much more functionality to the site. It is possible to share other types of content with users on the site too, such as, in this case, we're going to show share some contact information. And the contact data in this case is coming directly from Google Contacts. So here we see a list of contacts and have the opportunity to choose what information is displayed in this list for my users. I can also filter this list, and then I can click through for more information about the contact if required. And this is a great example of how Overdrive can take existing G Suite data and enhance the presentation of it, as well as providing an easy way to share that information with users. We find that discussions are an important element in most event sites, and Overdrive caters for these very well. As well as providing the option for including discussions on pages with other content, such as a document or an image, specific discussions can be created, such as this forum section we have here, and we'll show you the speakers forum. These discussions can either be public, so everyone on the site can see the information, or they can be restricted to certain users, as in this case, this is only open to the speakers who access this site. And as you notice, we can start new conversations easily, but also reply to existing conversations. So that's all I wanted to show you on the event demonstration site for now. As I mentioned, there are plenty of other features available which are contained in this public site. So I would encourage you to visit it after this event to see some of the other features we haven't shown today at your leisure. Okay, so briefly in summary, I want to show you some of the main benefits of using Overdrive. And as you saw in the demonstrations, an Overdrive site can be created automatically using Google Drive folders and files. Building a site is fast and efficient compared with traditional methods, and no specialist skills are required. Many types of content can be transformed automatically into powerful and user-friendly web pages. In addition to that, pages can be easily updated or maintained by editing the original file, either from the site itself or from Drive. And this sync between Overdrive and the source location enables the site to be automatically updated when content changes at either end. Now, just a quick look at the licensing model. Overdrive pricing starts at $1 per user per month. And we have a 25% discount available for education and non-profit organizations. The number of sites that can be created is unlimited, which means your users can create as many sites for as many different uses as they need under this licensing scheme. We have further information on the pricing plans on our website, which is overdrive.io. And again, we'll send you the link to this site after this event. So now I'd like to invite questions and see if there are any questions that have been raised and that we can answer. And I've got a couple which came in before, which I might throw over to you, Ian. The first one asked, can external users upload files?
Sure. Before I answer that, Sean, just for anybody struggling to ask questions, we've had a couple of reports that the chat window on the right-hand side wasn't enabled, wasn't working. So if you just hit F5 or refresh your browser page, you might the chat window might appear, and you might be able to get your questions in the last few minutes before we close. Onto that question, can external users upload files? Yes, they can, quite simply. The files will end up in Drive, as you'd expect on the page where the upload was, where you wanted them to upload. Back to you, Sean.
Okay, great. Another question which has come in, is there a maximum number of users per site? And I'll answer that one because it's an easy one. Again, very simply, no, there is no limit. So you can have as many users accessing your sites as you require, which is very useful for event type sites, because you may be running events which may be physical or virtual, with large numbers of attendees and speakers, etc. So because there's no limit to the number of users on the site, you can use Overdrive for those sites, which is very useful. We talked about editors and viewers. You may have seen on the pricing page, and the question is, what is the difference between an editor and a viewer? Do you want to take that one, Ian?
Yes, pretty much as it sounds. Editors can create pages, files, edit documents, all that kind of stuff. So could be a site admin or just a contributor, and a viewer literally just views pages, although they can do a few simple tasks like participate in discussions and fill in forms, and that kind of thing.
Great. And there's a question regarding public sites. We mentioned that very briefly when we were talking about some example public sites like UNESCO Sardona. So any site that you can create can effectively be made a public site. And that means that anybody with the link can access the site. And that's very useful if you are creating an information type site and sharing that information with a large number of users. You also may know the hint and tip site gsuitetips.com. that is actually based on Overdrive. So clearly that's a public site that anybody can access, and we can share information using that site, again using the Overdrive platform, which is very useful.
Sean, there's a few more questions coming in, which I'll pick up. Nancy says she lost all audio and video. I think the internet is just very busy at the moment, as we all know. Can the material be sent out in presentation form following the webinar? Yes, absolutely, Nancy. We'll be sending through the webinar recording, links to the sites, and all that kind of stuff. So hang tight for that. Sharon says, can you create your own template? Yes, you can. You can create, if you're talking about Template Designer, which I used in the demo to change the coloring and styling of the site. Yes, you can create a template and save all the settings as your own template so that you can pick it up on and use it on other sites. Rob says, so viewers do not need Gmail addresses. Absolutely, Rob. Viewers can, as Sean showed, viewers can log in using email address and password, Facebook, Microsoft, and Salesforce accounts. So lots of different ways for them to get in. They absolutely don't need Gmail addresses. And also, as we said, it can be a totally public site that anybody can visit and get access to everything that's in there. Rita said, same as with docs. So I think, Rita, you were answering Rob's question. Thank you very much. That's it so far. Back to you, Sean.
Okay, very good. So what I want to do now is just look at other ways that you can continue your investigation of Overdrive. And there are a number of ways in which you can do that. So you can create a trial site to try out some of the features which were shown in the demonstrations today. And as we've been mentioned all throughout the session, after the event, we'll send you the links to our public demonstration sites. And that includes the event one, which we briefly showed you earlier. And you can go and visit them and see what the finished site may look like, as well as sharing the link with your colleagues so they can access the site if they want to. If we do have more complex requirements, we can arrange an individual call or consultation with either ourselves or one of our partners. And during these sessions, we'll look at your requirements in detail and advise on the best approach. So we'll follow up with more information, including some links to the demonstration sites, and allow you to create your own trial sites. And if you do have any questions which occur to you after the event, then please just respond to this message and we'll come back to you as soon as possible. So that's everything from us today. Thank you for joining. Sorry if you've had audio or video issues. I'm fairly sure the video will be working okay, so we'll send that if you do need to review that. And we look forward to seeing you and what you're doing with Overdrive in the future. Thank you very much.